All right. Hey there, Gulf Coast. I'm NBC 15 Chief Meteorologist Thomas Geboy. Wanted to get on Facebook Live to talk about what we're currently seeing out there. The risk of seeing severe weather at this point, it has gone down. Now, there is a chance that we could still see some strong to severe storms. That chance hasn't gone away completely. But the tornado watch that was set to continue through 6 o'clock this evening, that was actually canceled before the watch was allowed to expire. So the overall severe weather risk has gone down, but the flooding risk has actually increased. So during the course of this Facebook Live, we're going to be talking mainly about the flooding risk and what we can expect as we go through the rest of today. The time is currently 6:02 on this Sunday evening, and it is April 6th, 2025. So let's go ahead and get into the details because we currently have 3 flash flood warnings for our area. One of those is for north central Baldwin County. This flash flood warning includes places like Stapleton, Holly Hills, Blakely, and Bay Minette. That's going to continue through 8 o'clock this evening. The flash flood warning for Mobile, that continues through 7:30 this evening. This is going to be our main talking point of what we talk about during the course of this Facebook Live. And we also have a flash flood warning for Jackson County, Mississippi. That's going to continue through the next hour at 7 o'clock. But this flash flood warning that we have for Mobile, this has a considerable tag along with it from the National Weather Service, and that just simply means that the risk of flash flooding with this warning is considerable, and we have seen that play out. I've seen multiple photos and videos of what's been occurring, especially in Midtown and downtown Mobile, water levels rising quickly and a decent amount of stranded vehicles as well. I'll show you some photos and videos in just one moment. A lot of the heaviest of the rain is currently working its way now into downtown and pushing out into Mobile Bay. So there's some at least good news when it comes to this particular flash flood warning, that a lot of the heavier rain is now beginning to push its way off to the east. But as you look back to the west, this isn't just going to be an initial wave of showers and storms that moves through. You can still see showers and storms that are back to the west that still could move over. And even after this initial line moves through, we could see some additional showers develop tonight. So the risk of severe weather, or the risk of flooding, I should say, hasn't gone down completely. So the good news is that the heaviest of the rain is now slowly pushing away to the east, but a lot of that flooding risk is now migrating areas to the east. For those of you in Daphne, you really haven't seen much, but there's been a lot of heavy rain to your west over the last couple of hours, and once this line moves over you, the storms are moving pretty quickly from southwest to northeast. It's just the line itself is taking its time moving from west to east. And of course, within this flash flood warning that we have for north central Baldwin County, we're still seeing some times of very heavy rain. We're also looking at heavy rain stretching into the northern portion of Escambia County and northwest Florida, and also still seeing some pretty heavy rain down into the southern portion of Mobile County. So within the last just few hours, we have seen some significant rainfall, and you can see where we have those flash flood warnings. There's that corridor right there where we've seen generally between 3 to 6 inches of rain, and there's still a chance that we could still see another couple of inches added on top of this. And earlier today, especially for our northwestern communities, we saw times of heavy rain. But just as we zoom things down into Mobile County specifically, areas have seen anywhere from, again, 3 to 6 inches of rainfall. And when you talk about some of the low-lying areas that we have in and around Mobile, that has led to the flash flooding, and we're still seeing some spots in the flash flood warning in north central Baldwin County ranging between 3 and 6 inches of rain as well. But in those spots in particular, we're still seeing a lot of that heavy rain still coming down as those storms are slowly working their way from west to east. So let me go ahead and take you back in time on the radar, and we'll go ahead and take you back to 3:05 p.m. At this point, the rain was just getting going in Mobile, and we actually had a tornado warning for west central Mobile County. Thankfully, that tornado warning didn't last long and got canceled before the warning was even allowed to expire. But by 3:30, you can see a lot of the heavier rain working its way into Metro Mobile, and from 3:30 into 4:30 into 5:30 and into now, that rain has slowly been working its way from west to east, and that's helped us achieve the totals that we're currently at. But I did also mention earlier, especially around Spanish Fort and Daphne, this was back at around 4:20 in the afternoon, where you were starting to see the rain moving in, but it just wasn't really moving that quickly from west to east. And now you can see that the rain is now moving over the eastern shore, and even though this is a fairly narrow band of storms with the heaviest of the rain, it could move over you, and that could lead to some flooding concerns. So we'll keep a close eye on that for those of you along the eastern shore. And of course, for those of you that are anywhere from the Deep South Speedway, just in the south portion of Stapleton, up around Steelwood, and then up towards Bay Minette, with the heavy rain continuing to fall, flash flooding is going to continue to be a significant concern there. But hopefully pretty soon we start to see some of the water levels begin to go down in Mobile, because again, there have been some cars stranded, some cars have been stalled out. But in the short term, it's just a better idea to avoid getting out on the roadways. And if you cannot see the bottom of the road, remember the phrase, turn around, don't drown. It's not worth risking it. This was when the flash flood warning was just about to be issued. Again, this was a couple of hours ago. This was shared by Tyler Smith. And you can see a car actually stalled out on Airport Boulevard. It's the car on the right-hand portion of your screen. This is near the University intersection. That area is prone to flooding, and we saw that play out. Meanwhile, as you go down towards Government Street and Broad Street, almost looks a bit like a river right there. And again, this was shared by Tyler Smith, so thanks for sharing that one, Tyler. But you might know Tyler. He's our intern here at NBC 15. But as we went through today, we have seen that heavy rain here in Mobile, and it has been significant in spots. So just a good idea to avoid getting out on the roadways entirely. So here's the big change in the last hour or so. The Weather Prediction Center has increased a lot of our area to a level 3 out of 4 moderate risk of excessive rainfall that could lead to flash flooding. And when you see a moderate risk of excessive rainfall, that means that numerous flash flood warnings are expected to occur within this moderate risk. And you can see the moderate risk does extend a decent bit outside of the NBC 15 area. But as we have seen with this line slowly moving from west to east, we could see additional flash flood warnings get issued. So you want to make sure that you stay on guard as we go from this evening into tonight. As mentioned beforehand, the tornado watch that has been canceled. So the risk of severe weather has gone down. That's not to say that the severe risk has gone away entirely, but that threat is not as high compared to earlier. We're mainly looking at a flood threat at this particular point. So let's go ahead and start the forecast tracker. I'll start this at 7 o'clock this evening, and you can see those storms slowly working their way from west to east and really not moving that far until we get to 8:30. The hope is, as the storm system that's driving all of this, as it begins to pull away to the north, we start to see the storms begin to lose some of their intensity. Some models have suggested that we could see a little bit of a break in the action as we go from as we approach, I would say, the middle of the night to around midnight. Then as we move into the overnight, unfortunately, we'll likely see more moisture surge in from the southwest. And you can see by 5 o'clock tomorrow morning, still a good chance that we're seeing some showers, maybe some moderate to heavy rain along and east of I-65. It's really not going to be until the second part of the day tomorrow where that surge of drier air finally moves in behind the cold front, and we see things begin to calm down completely as we go from Monday night into our Tuesday. And that will have some ramifications, but it's going to be positive simply because we'll hold on to a good chance of showers on Monday, still 60% with that best chance along and east of I-65. We likely don't get out of the 60s for daytime highs tomorrow. Then Tuesday and Wednesday, we're going to finally see some sunshine again. So there is a light at the end of the tunnel. Daytime highs in the 70s should be beautiful Tuesday and Wednesday afternoon. We'll also be talking about low humidity for this time of year, which will also be nice. The only thing that this graphic really doesn't show you is that we will be looking at overnight lows likely returning to the 40s, at least for a couple of nights. So that pre-Easter chill is going to occur as we move into next week. So we have this couple of flash flood warnings still in place. Again, we have for north central Baldwin County until 8 o'clock this evening, Mobile County until 7:30. Thankfully, the heaviest of the rain is now moving east of the flash flood warning, but we're still seeing rain in spots. And then the flash flood warning that we have for Jackson County, Mississippi, that's going to continue through 7 o'clock. So if you guys have any questions or comments, let me know in the comment section down below. If you guys are out there and are seeing this flooding, you can send those photos and videos to us only if you can do it safely. And again, that's the key, is only if you can do it safely. But if you go to mynbc15.com and go to the chime-in section, you can upload your photos and videos there, and when we can pass along that information to the National Weather Service in Mobile. Thank you for tuning in, Patty. I appreciate it. And if you guys would just want to tune in, let us know where you're tuning in from. Always appreciate that as well. And if you guys haven't already, don't forget to hit the like and share button. That the way these videos can reach as many people as they possibly can. We were on TV just a short while ago, but I know not everybody would have been on TV, so that's why I wanted to make sure we were on Facebook as well. Colleen is watching from Bay Minette. and the heavy rain is still falling in Bay Minette, so be careful up that way. It's got Gene who's watching. So that was on my Facebook page, Thomas Gieboy Meteorologist. So let me go ahead and go to the WPMI NBC 15 Facebook page, see if there are any questions there that I might be missing. Only a couple of comments on here, so I'm not seeing too much. So hopefully that means that I answered all of your questions that you had. But if you guys ever have any questions or comments outside of these Facebook Lives, you can find me on my Facebook page, Thomas Gieboy Meteorologist. Just send me a message, and I'll do the best that I can to get back to you as quickly as I can. So the overview, we're going to be watching these storms as we move into tonight. The main concern will be the potential of additional flooding as that line slowly moves from west to east. A few strong to severe storms can't be completely ruled out, but that severe risk is lower, and the tornado watch has been canceled from earlier. So as we move into this evening, make sure that you continue to stay on top of the weather, and if you're in a flash flood warning or if a flash flood warning gets issued for your area, avoid the roadways if you can, and remember the phrase, turn around, don't drown. If you cannot see the bottom of the roadway, it is not safe to drive through those floodwaters for the most part. So again, we'll continue to watch, we'll continue to keep you posted, but I hope that you guys have a good rest of your evening, and stay safe out there and stay on top of the weather.